and gentlemen, after 279 days, I have decided to end my strike. An attempt to re-embrace and resurrect my love for professional wrestling. And don't worry, today I am going to be going over everything that's happened with me and wrestling since I left. We're going to be going over why I left. We're going to be talking about a little bit of what's been happening since I left. We're going to be talking about what made me come back and what I'm excited for going forward. I am not certain I will be as a diehard fan as I once was. I don't know if that will ever return. But with that being said, I don't expect to be so devoted to it anymore where it will make me so upset to the point where I quit watching. I'll just accept what they throw at me and move on as I go. Anyway, couple of plugs as always. Don't forget to use my code on G Fuel or Prize Picks, where you can save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products or match up to $100 of your first deposit. But make sure you are always playing responsibly, and let's get into the video. Alright, so to start off this video, we are going to get the negatives out of the way. We're going to get all the dirt dug up and thrown out. We're going to talk about why I quit watching. For those who don't know, like, I've watched wrestling my whole life, from the age of 8 all the way up until May of last year. I've sat through a lot of really good television, and I've sat through a lot of really, really bad television. I watched John Cena and R-Truth main event a pay-per-view, man. And that didn't make me leave. What made me finally snap and put my foot down was the repetition that they were refusing to break. The repetition that they still haven't completely broken. Dude, we have been watching the same thing for 3 to 4 years now. Roman Reigns wrestles 5 times a year. Every single title match ends the same exact way. Then he leaves and he'll return a month later and repeat. That's happened for 3 years, guys. All throughout my life of watching wrestling, I have never had to sit through the same thing for 3 years straight. But they kept me interested because they kept talking about this other world title, the World Heavyweight Championship. They're gonna bring it back, they were gonna give it to Raw, so then both shows would once again have a world title, and there would be a world champion who showed up on a week-to-week basis instead of every other month. And they did it, and this is what really sent me. They turned it into the 24/7 championship almost immediately after Seth had won it. I mean, they had him defending that belt like every single week. There was literally a point where he was defending it against Finn Balor at a pay-per-view, and he had 3 advertised title defenses leading up to it. Like, what were you doing? It made the title feel worthless. And now, back on the subject of Roman and Cody, it's kind of funny because if you go way back and watch one of my last videos, I think it might be on my main channel actually, I predicted this. I said, I don't want to watch anymore because Roman's gonna hold the title all the way to WrestleMania and I'm not putting up with it for a year. And I even said Cody would win the Rumble again. I knew it, although I was wrong. I said people would boo him and they're not. People are not booing Cody. But it's the predictability repetition that this company, like I said, they're starting to get out of, but they refuse to fully snap. This entire year should have been a new fresh breath of air, not Cody chasing another year of finishing his story. I wasn't gonna sit through it again, and that is why I quit. Alright, now we're going to be getting into why I came back to wrestling before we talk about, you know, what's been going on and what's going to happen in the future, what I'm excited about. What was the reason that I picked this back up pretty much out of nowhere? Well, there's a couple of different factors into it. One, the off-season. The football off-season really made me miss it. You get so much more free time, dude. Every Monday, Friday, and like every other Saturday, there's usually an event to watch, and now I have nothing. Secondly, you guys. I have been literally asked and pestered about it nonstop since I quit watching it. I mean, there's a lot of people on my Twitch who have been banned because I've literally begged them to shut up about asking me about it, and they still just would not stop. Okay, as much as it may have annoyed me, it did open my eyes a little bit. It's like, okay, these people really want you to pick it back up, so give it a chance. And I will, and I apologize to anybody who I might have snapped at over. You gotta understand, it was just me not wanting to talk about something at the time. 3, I got a brother who has watched it with me my entire life, and he has literally filled me in on everything since I quit watching. So, you know, when CM Punk came back, The Rock came back a few weeks ago. I think John Cena had a stint over the summer I completely missed. You know, all that stuff was happening. I knew about it. I just wasn't wasn't watching it, but you know, it kind of made me miss it. And lastly, this kind of goes with the off season, but I just, like, the kid in me missed it. I miss talking about it. I miss arguing about it. I miss predicting it. I miss going to some of the events. They were a ton of fun. It was like a big chunk of my life that was just gone. So the reason I'm returning, you know, it's a mixture of all those things, but pretty much boils down to you guys not giving up on it for me and me just deciding that I missed, you know, that part of my life and I wanted to pick it back up again. So again, sorry to anybody I might have snapped at, you know, talking about wrestling over the last year, but you gotta understand, man. You just broke up with your girlfriend. Would you want to talk about her? No, you'd tell people to stop. All right, now we're gonna be kind of chattering and going over what has all changed or what has all remained the same over the past year when I was gone. And I'm not gonna go too in depth with this. I just wanna go over the champions and, you know, some of the big, you know, returns and whatnot, who wasn't here, who was here, and this and that. So right off the bat, the Universal Champion when I left, that was Roman. It still is Roman. The Intercontinental Champion was Gunther. It still is Gunther, and he's had an excellent reign. You see, it's crazy when your champion actually wrestles on a day-to-day basis. Well, Roman's not healthy enough, then take the fucking belt off him! World Heavyweight Champion, that was Seth, still is Seth. Like I said, that was pretty much the last thing I remember seeing. I didn't make it to the next pay-per-view, that's all I remember. United States Champion, now this is different. Logan Paul has it, and I can't remember who had it when I quit watching. I want to say Theory did, but there's no way he beat Theory because they're both heels. I have no idea. Wow, no, I do know. It was Rey Mysterio, right? I remember seeing that clip on Twitter. He used like brass knuckles or some shit. Whatever. It's a cool champion. I'm fine with it. Judging by the Elimination Chamber, he's definitely going to be doing a program with Randy Orton. I just don't know if he'll be winning or losing. Women's champion when I was watching was Bianca, I believe. I don't remember when Io got it. Also, by the sounds of it, she's had a pretty boring reign too. Women's world champion was in fact Mommy, and I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. She is retaining at WrestleMania. She's going to beat Becky. Io, by the way, I don't think is gonna win, but Rhea, yes. And we got the tag team champions last, and it's the Judgment Day now. Who was it when I quit watching it? Oh, Sammy and Kevin. Okay, well, yeah, I probably missed a big chunk there, but all right. Looking at the superstars now, obviously The Rock is back for some sort of program. Looks like the AOP is back. Andrade is back. He was in AEW. Braun Strowman had just come back. Brock Lesnar, I'm not sure we'll ever see again, although he's not in the alumni section anymore, which is weird. Oh, this one I love, Carlito! CM Punk, clearly. I feel like there's a big name I'm missing that came over. Oh, Nia Jax is back. Nick Aldis, I think he's a commissioner. Pat is back. And there's the one I was missing, Jade Cargill. She came over from AEW. So there is some new faces around too. Again, I'm not sure who all is left. And chances are if they did leave, they don't matter. So yeah, I'm pretty cool with everything I've seen here. And now ending this video, I just kind of want to go over what I'm looking forward to the most in the WWE. To start off, the new video game that drops next week, which I now will probably get right on release. Those are always fun right off the bat. But secondly, I think WrestleMania 40, so far from what I can see, is looking like it's going to be pretty good. I'm telling you right now, if Roman beats Cody again, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to handle it. That's why I'm saying I'm not letting myself get so invested. I'm going to try my best to just not give a shit. Like, aside from that, potentially destroying the entire event again, what we have planted so far, I think looks amazing. Rhea versus Becky, that's gonna be great. Bayley versus Io, that should be good. I kind of missed their little feud start. I think Bayley won the Rumble, but I'm sure it'll be entertaining. Definitely looking like the Usos are gonna go at it finally. That's been long in the making. That'll be awesome. Logan versus Randy should bang. I can see a huge RKO out of nowhere. Intercontinental Championship, that one I'm a little bit uncertain about. I'm really hoping it's Sheamus that comes back to fight him again, just one-on-one. But either way, I always like watching Gunther. I always have liked watching Gunther. He's a big, brutal brute. I'm also very excited to see what happens with Cody and The Rock here. From what I've heard, The Rock returned to kind of take Cody's spot, but the fans absolutely rejected it. So now they're doing like a Rock heel angle, and it sounded like he might fight Cody on night 1, and then Cody fights Roman on night 2. That'd be pretty cool. I am pretty much excited about everything that's laid out in front of us. I will say my one complaint, my one gripe, other than, you know, Roman still being the champion in the center of the spotlight, is the tag championships. Those need to be resplit. Either resplit or merged into one belt. It just looks stupid hanging two of them. Nobody has two belts anymore. But aside from that, I'm just honestly kind of happy to be back into it. I look forward to repicking up the arguments with you guys, tweeting about it, making videos about it, watching it. Just, it is good to be back, and I'm sorry for leaving. Anyway, guys, that is going to be all for my WWE return video. Next week or the following week, you can probably expect a video to come back for WWE. I'm not sure all the content will be wrestling related again, like I said, but I do plan to watch it going forward again as long as I can. So take care, everybody. Have a good one. Watch out for Twitch this weekend. I'll probably be streaming. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.